Welcome to Double Fries No Slaw. It's a pop-up episode, a special edition. We love doing this with Michael Alford, the CEO over at Seminole Boosters, TJ Pittenger, Richie Barnes, and Mr. Alford. How are you gentlemen doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How you doing, TJ? Hello, Richie. I just want to know, am I one ahead of Jen now
Oh
for
I,
man,
most
what
of
a
us?
what a battle that's
I,
been over the last several
I,
months.
I think Michael's now our most recurrent guest, so I think you've taken the spot. But tennis season's coming up shortly, so that could change in a matter of moments.
Working hard at it.
Yeah, I mean the it's like the is it called the President's Cup or the President's Trophy? Like the like who ends up with the it's the Double Fries President's Trophy between our leaders right now, Jen Hyde of FSU Women's Tennis and Michael Alford. So no, but we do appreciate you for hanging out with us for just a minute. Wanted to kind of catch up with you, wanted to see how things were going and and chat a little bit. But man, let's start first, man. We got a rivalry game here this weekend. Florida State takes on Miami in just a few days, so we'll start with football. But this is the first due to COVID last year. We went down to
Mhm.
Miami. The Florida game didn't happen. We didn't have Clemson last year. We went on the road to Clemson this year. This is your first big rival. We had Notre Dame, and that weekend was special for a lot of
Right.
other reasons. But this is the first rivalry game you're in town for football. Are you excited for this weekend? Are you excited to get to Saturday, or you got a lot of work to do between now and then?
No, this is this is one of those bucket list games. Being in this industry and having been a part of Alabama and Auburn, USC, UCLA, USC, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas, just haven't been a part of those games. But this is one that you go back through history. This is one, and when I was an athlete in college and growing up, and this is one you marked as a fan. You made sure you were in front of a television set for this game, no matter where you were or what was going on. I remember in college at while I played baseball of really talking to our coach and letting us out for the '89 game of practice fall ball. Like, "Hey, coach, we this game's at 3:30. We got to get out of practice. Let's move it up an hour because everybody on the team wanted to get home and watch this game." So it's just a special environment. I can't wait to see the rivalry live. My favorite Florida State play of all time was Fryer's touchdown that he caught on Miami sideline and took it to the house. You look back in history, and so many great moments come out of this series, and so many great um, plays and players have played in this series that you're just it's something to circle, and that's something I'm really looking forward to experiencing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of things like the Florida State Miami rivalry, especially when you get to attend it. I've had the pleasure of attending in Doak numerous times, and the unfortunate, ness of having to attend down in Miami several times as well. And it's always more pleasant experience in Doak. Um, but one thing, while we're on the topic of football, we've had a huge campaign going for a few years now on a football only facility for Florida State. And I'm sure a lot of fans are eager to hear an update. What's going on there? How close are we? When can we break ground, et cetera? Any update on the football only facility?
Yeah, it got passed by the board of trustees. We're now in construction design phase of the football only facility. So that's going to take us 10 to 12 months of working with our sports architect and really get all the construction documents down and ready to go out to bid to put a shovel in the ground. So that's very exciting that we've had success fundraising. We're still fundraising for it, but we're having such success as people understand the need for this facility, that people are contributing and wanting to partner for us because we go out and share the message that of all the ACC schools, only two do not have a football only facility, and that's us and our opponents this upcoming weekend. And with the plans for stadium redevelopment and improving the fan experience at football facilities plays a big part of that to enhance the student athlete experience. Um, I'll tell you, TJ and Richie, 58 of 65 Power Five programs have a dedicated football facility space. Uh, and we're one of the ones who just do not. So to compete nationally amongst our peers is something we have to get done. because it's all about recruiting. And as young men are going on campuses, it's getting pointed out to them during their visiting other schools that the commitment of not having a space is there. And I'll tell you, we were at an institution within our conference. I won't mention names, but I'm very good friends with our athletic director, and their colors are orange. And we're standing in the end zone prior to the game, and he asked me if my ears were burning on Friday night. And I jokingly said, "What did you do?" Because we go back to when he even worked at LSU, very dear friends. And he goes, "Well, I had an event with all of our donors. I talked about you. I showed the facilities you're going to do and that you're building, and talked about your past experiences of what you've built elsewhere, and I told them we needed another $20 million to build something else to stay ahead of you guys." And that's the competition's coming, because people understand the commitment. Our fans are rallying to give Mike and his staff support for that program and other programs as well. But it's something that just we continuously have to keep pushing the needle and asking people to partner with us to get this project finished.
Yeah, and it's so important. And you think about Clemson and their facility that's considered, the class of the ACC. They were able to build that for $55 million in a different time when prices
Right.
were nowhere near what they are now. So it's refreshing to have yourself, Michael, who wants to be at the forefront and get ahead of things. So we're not playing these catch up. And one way we can do that is by the annual fund. How did we close out last year, and how are we looking for this year?
Oh, well, the annual fund, you've heard me say it a million times, it is our lifeblood. And it is part of our long-term plan to increase our investment in our athletics programs in support of our student athletes. The annual fund supports their academic, their athletic, and life goals for 500 something plus student athletes. I always bring up, we're a self-sustaining athletic department. So, it's very important for us to reinvest in these student athletes. And just a full scholarship costs us nearly $60,000 per year that we're paying back, about $15 million, just shy of $15 million a year. We're paying the university for the scholarship allotment for these student athletes. So I always like to talk about why we're here, to support the university mission, the educational mission of this university. And behind every graduating student athlete is a great group of donors. Behind every championship, Coach Krikorian's championship the other day wouldn't have been possible without a great group of donor support and everything we do at an elite level, because we all self-sustaining. So I really thank all of our donors last year. They really stepped up. We achieved 12,000 members. We went well past our revenue goal, over 2,000 new members. I'm really proud of the last two stats. 850 members upgraded their giving from the previous year. So they made it a commitment to do more to assist us. And 40% of our annual fund members are not season ticket holders. And the annual fund just allows us to do so many different things. Everything from renovating the weight room, which was a major need. We were able to do that with annual fund dollars. Of course, I mentioned athletic scholarships, leadership programming for our student athletes. Just allows us to do so many different things to provide academic and leadership support to them. So when they do graduate from Florida State with a meaningful degree, the donors should be very proud, because they had everything to do with that achievement.
So just to follow up real quickly, I think you said something extremely important that a lot of boosters or fans don't understand typically, and that's scholarship endowments, right? And
Yes.
you mentioned we're paying $15 million, or the boosters is paying $15 million a year back to the university. You go to some of these more established universities that have, the Florida State's football program is very young, very, very young compared to a lot of these SEC and Big Ten schools, but they have generational wealth, so to speak, because they've been around so long, to where they're not losing money back to the university for scholarships because they're all endowed. How big of a help in a perfect world would it be for Florida State if all of our scholarships were endowed, and what that money could do with going other places at that point? Because I think that's a huge deal.
It is, whether it's endowment or just annual giving, Richie. I mean, I'm telling you, it's either one. Annual giving goes to the same way. We take in the money and we reinvest it in the experience of our student athletes. And it gives us the opportunity to really utilize where that money should go that year. And endowments is the same way. That goes strictly to scholarships, and we're not even close to being fully endowed. And to be honest with you, with the cost of education, probably will never get there. But it goes to support that 15 million that we transfer over every year. So both play a very key role in what we're able to do and the support that we're able to give our student athletes. Our goal every year is provide championship level support for championship teams and our student athletes. And we can't do it without the passionate fans who step up. And we've got such a great core, loyal fan base of donors who have been with us from the beginning. And I can't thank them enough for what they did for us last year.
So looking ahead to this year, it goes quick, doesn't it? Already
Yeah.
9 games done, but 3 games left and still some work to do. We talked about the big one this weekend, and obviously on the road at BC, and then the big one at the end of the year, a couple hours down the road to another team wearing orange that we see yearly. But we can already look. I mean, obviously we got some work to do this year, but we can already look ahead to next year. Talk about season ticket renewals that are already opened up for the upcoming season.
It's going great. We've kicked off our annual campaign. We have 1,000 new season ticket holders as our goal. One thing I always like to point out, we went from 9,500, a little bit less than that, up to 12,000, 2,000 new donors. And I can't tell you how excited I am to even stretch that. Our goal is to be 13.5 annual fund members next year. And even going up to 12,000 as we did last year, we still rank 6th in the ACC for number of annual donors. But we have 380,000 living alumni, which is 50,000 more than the next school in the ACC. So we're talking less than 2% of our alumni are donors to athletics. So that's our message this upcoming year. No matter what level, you heard me say it last year, it all goes to support graduation and everything that we're able to provide these student athletes. And I talk about being the best and earning championships. And if we want to do that, we got to have a championship approach in everything we do. And that begins with our ability to support our program. And being a self-sustaining athletic department, it costs just shy of, like I mentioned earlier, 60,000 per year per scholarship athlete. And that annual fund really allows us to provide winning edge resources for our athletes.
Speaking of our athletes, we've had football going on. We're going to talk about some of the different sports that have been going on, but we talked a little bit about this before we got on the air. We've got a tip off or two this week with Coach Sue and Coach Ham's teams getting started. Basketball's back. Richie hasn't smiled like that since, I don't know, probably about this time, probably about this time last year when we were about to get tipped off.
Since North Carolina in Chapel Hill, I'll say that.
How excited are you for basketball to be back and those programs to get tipped off, to be cliche?
Sue starts here in 1 hour at 6 o'clock, I believe, or 7 o'clock tonight, 2 hours. But it's really exciting to see what she's doing. It's so great to have her back. I can tell you, when I got hired here at Florida State, the very first phone call I got was from Sue and congratulate me and to talk about her vision, wanted to hear my vision. And it was great just to talk to her. And Ham was number 2. I mean, they were I think they texted each other and did a 1-2 left right on me when I got hired, but I really enjoyed working day by day with them. We have some plans to assist their program. We're working on a facility master plan across all of our programs, and excited once again just to provide them the necessary facilities to compete with who they're competing against, and got some exciting things that we're looking to do for them. I'm real excited. Coach Krikorian just won the ACC championship in soccer and going into postseason. And we've been on a fundraiser, and we're putting a new video board in for them next year. I'm looking at chairback in that stadium, just to provide a fan experience, and not only the fan experience of the video board stats and chairbacks, but to also what the student athlete experiences. And that's what we're here to do, is provide them the very best experience they can. We've raised money and have a new video board going in softball. So we're able to put a master plan together, how we address our facility needs. And basketball is something, they have some things we need to address in it. And I'm real excited to be working along Coach Ham and Coach Sue, and providing the very best experience for those student athletes, because they're working their tail off, both ranked in the top 25. And I can't wait to tip off the season, because it's going to be an exciting year for both programs.
Yeah, and two quick thoughts on that. First of all, shout out to the student section, because when I was at Florida State,
sold out
in the mid to late 2000s, nobody went until Florida came every other year, or they'd wait till Duke and Carolina came. And now they sold out the first game of the year to Penn. And this is probably the disconnect I have from the students, right? I am very upset that this is a 9:00 p.m. tip-off when I have to work next morning, and these students are probably loving it, which probably helped. But do you have any weight in the ACC to not have these late weekday kickoff or tip-offs? And how cool is it just to see the student support from day one? And that's a testament to what Coach Hamilton has built, and the dollars the donors give helps build that. It's all related.
There's no doubt. And when you have someone like Coach Sue, Coach Ham, who are really active in the community, when I work with coaches and talk about programs and program success, you go back and look at the programs who are successful of building relationships within the community, and the programs that do that have the most active coaches. And they love to get out. They love to talk to donors. They love to get feedback. They love to listen, and it's great to see them interact with the community. But then when you do that, it's great to see the community come and support them. And those are both those coaches will go out in not only in the business community, but also be very active on campus and talk to students and ask them for their support. And students are going to gravitate towards people who build relationships with them. And that's what's really neat about being at Florida State. All of our coaches are so active, so willing to get out in the community and really leave a mark for their programs and set standards. And it's really fun to watch. And it's just great to work side by side with all of them on a day-to-day basis.
You've mentioned a couple of times, so I'll ask pretty directly about it. Soccer winning the ACC championship. What a run they've been on for the last couple of years, and really even the last several years, winning a couple of championships, but last year only losing one game, and that being in the title in a penalty shootout, and then this year only dropping the one game to Duke, right? And so, and then kind of avenging that by winning the ACC championship, and now we kick off on Friday night in Tallahassee for a playoff game, first round of the NCAA tournament. We had Coach Krikorian on earlier this year, and he said something to the effect of, "Hey, I know you guys got a lot of sandbaggers on here that just say, oh, I don't know how good we're going to be, and we're just going to give it our best effort," and all that other BS that you hear from time to time. And he just said, no, we're going to be really good. Like we're going to be a good team this year, and we're going to go out and kick tail. And so it was refreshing to hear that. And
he
so,
does not lack confidence at all.
Yeah, no. he doesn't.
And nor should he, based on the results.
Yeah, they went out and backed it up, and ACC champs, and now the number one overall seed. Do you want to make a bold prediction about this soccer team, or you just want to share some thoughts on them?
Well, there was a great feature, ACC All Access, on him the other day in that program, and to see the way Coach goes about putting the confidence in his team. You know, they're very detailed in their game plan and their game preparation, and which leads to confidence. And he is a very confident man, a very confident coach, and you see his team take on that persona of their coach and really go out and compete hard and expect to win. And when you expect to be able to do things but practice and preparation and be as detailed as they are in a practice, it's fun to watch, because I love going to watch our coaches, and I learn something from everyone that I can then take back into our world, whether it's a business world or administration world, and look at the detail and the preparation they put in. It relates to what we're trying to do on a daily basis. So he's amazing. His program's amazing. He's built it through these years to be where it is. So that's something he should take, and all of us take a lot of pride in watching. But, I think they have a very good chance because they are so prepared for every game to go ahead and run this table this year.
Yeah, and you talked about, how Coach Sue's ready to tip off in an hour or so, and
Yeah.
Coach Ham tomorrow night, late
The
past our
yawner
bedtime.
tomorrow night.
My wife is going to be very upset tomorrow night when we're up till 11:30 watching this game, by the way. But
I don't want to plug. Okay, I'll plug it. It's a one of those games, Richie. You got to drink a lot of Guthrie's tea to get to make sure you can last through the game.
Yeah,
you need that energy.
I'm the weirdo
you need
that
the big size of Guthrie's tea.
I would not miss the season opener for anything, and I do a basketball minute with a bunch of corny puns every week during basketball season. So hopefully you can check that out. But another team that's off to a really good start that plays in about an hour. Big upset over UF earlier this year is our volleyball team. They've been phenomenal, and they had a top 10 play on Sports Center a few weeks ago.
Right.
Again, it just goes to show that obviously we all love football. That's our number one passion for most of the Florida State fan base. But that football, when they have success, it opens the door to so much more from the athletic university. And Florida State wasn't an athletic powerhouse across all sports, really, until Jimbo Fisher kind of got us to that hump in 2013. Obviously, track had a lot of success in other sports, not to diminish that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you support football, you're supporting the entire university. 100%. And guess what? We only get 12 football games a year, guys. We get a lot of other athletic events every year. Just talk about this volleyball team, and man, again, they beat UF, guys. Be happy. Any win over UF is always a good win, and just the season they're having, because it's been impressive.
Coach Poole does an unbelievable job, and you talk about someone who does more with less. Playing the old Jim Tully, the kids have to bend their heads to get into the locker room, but it's very nice. But you talk about a program that's consistently in the top 20, that recruits the very best and brightest. His GPA is always off the charts for his team. And they're playing a little injured right now, and they're getting on get all their kids back and all the athletes healthy, making this postseason run. But it's really exciting to see what he's done, because he's just so respected nationally in the volleyball community, and he does it like all of our coaches. He does it the right way. He puts a set of core values, because he's been here a while, and you've seen his kids just graduate. You've seen the Elite Eights and the Sweet 16s. And how competitive they are year in, year out. And the kids just really love him, and they have such a great culture in that program. And of course, I'm a little biased towards volleyball, having all my daughters play it and my wife play collegiately, but it is fun to go watch how exciting that sport is, and just how great the kids are and how they give back to the community. It's really fun.
I was watching that UF game that Richie was talking about, and
exciting, wasn't it?
It was, man. And obviously that was the night that they honored Breonna Berry.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of emotion and full house. And then we had them in the first set, ended up dropping it. And I was like, oh no, because UF was ranked. I'm like, that was our chance. And then to win the next 3 sets, pretty stinking impressive. But yeah, all of our fall sports off and going. We're getting into the winter now. I mean, swimming and diving, track and field, golf, tennis has had some ITA success, some championship stuff that they've been doing. So, man, just all over the place. A ton, like Richie said, only 12 football games a year, 13 if you're blessed. But nice to be able to support FSU in all the other facets and everywhere else. We asked this, and I know people know this, and but I want to give you the opportunity one more time, just kind of plug where can people go to support. What does that support in a very broad scheme? I know you've mentioned it, but for people that are maybe just tuning in here live late, where can they go to support? What does that support do? Plug the website, plug just anything you can to get the message out one more time. Give us the 30-second plug, just for people that are tuning in now.
Well, that's Seminoles.com. I mean, you can go to the booster link and you can join. We got a new website actually being rolled out here in the next few days.
Awesome.
That is going to make it so much easier. Trust me, I've listened to you. people who have called me and written me, and I agreed with you. And we've made changes, and led by Daryl Beach, who does just an amazing job with our marketing programs and annual fund and leading that unit for us. But we got a new website that's going to be very, very fan friendly to joining our organization, to supporting our coaches clubs, to supporting our different um, fundraising projects we have going on and capital projects, give you up-to-date information. It's very important that we communicate with our fan base. And that's the easiest way, or just give us a call here at the office. But, or you can go to boosters.fsu.edu. That's even a different route, direct route. But go there. We're going to update it. We're going to give you the information. We're trying to change the experience that you have with the boosters. And that's everything from how you talk to us and how we communicate with you on a daily basis, to your fan experience of bringing on someone like Legends. And one thing I wanted to point out to both of y'all that I think gets lost. I know we had a lot of, I got a lot of emails at the beginning of the year about concession lines and everything. And we added a beverage to our repertoire in the stadium this year. And we only had 200 points of sale going into this football season. And we increased that to 330 points of sale. Because it's a 71-year-old stadium, we were having a lot of issues with electrical outlets, where we can get power. We have zero, which we're addressing in the off season, but we don't have any fire code safety. It's so outdated that we can't put in some equipment. I got $1 million of equipment for the fan experience and concessions sitting in storage because I couldn't install it because of the code restrictions on us. A stadium this size should be about 600 points of sale, especially if you're serving. So we're real excited that we took it from 200 to 330 for the Notre Dame game, knowing we were going to be hustling. And next year we're going to try to get that up to about 500, with more even coming the following year. So we're making some great strides to change the fan experience, because it's so important that we have Doak and the Tuck and Hauser and softball and everything just top notch for our fans, because you are giving support to our student athletes, and we need you to come buy our tickets, participate in our programs that we have going on, because that money does 100% go back to our student athletes and the resources and the ability we are to provide them educational and leadership opportunities. So I'm excited that we're gradually getting better. And we're really making big strides here in the next year or two with our new partnerships that we've formed. That's going to bring a first-class hospitality experience to all of our venues.
And what a challenge that is, to not just you or unique to college, even professional sports, right? I can sit on my couch, turn on my 70-inch TV, watch an air conditioning, only get up to get a beer from the fridge, and I'm good, right? But I will say the last game I attended before the Notre Dame game this year was the Miami game in 2018, I believe. And it was a notice difference, right? It was a packed crowd. There was, I don't know if we were at capacity, but we were close. And random story, I went down pregame to go to the concessions. I won't say what I was getting. I was going to the concessions, but I ran into Coach Sue and Coach Brooke in my section and took a picture with them. I'm like, that's so cool that they're sitting here. And these coaches that Florida State have, they're at the games. They're at the other games. You're going to see Mike Norvell at basketball games this year.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to see other events. And that's what I love about this university. And I will say, just from a fan perspective, it was a noticeable difference in the time I waited from going to the concession stands in Miami in 2018 to the Notre Dame game in this year. And, living in Orlando, I go to a lot of Magic games. I can get to the concession stands and back within 5 minutes almost any time. Obviously, that's not going to happen at a college football game, but it was a noticeable difference. And I just wanted to add that, because I've been going to Florida State games in Doak since 2005, really, every single year. And I did notice a difference. So again, the booster dollars help do that, guys. And this is not an infomercial, and the boosters do not pay us, but I can assure you it does make a difference in the overall experience of the games.
They don't pay us, but this is an infomercial, bro. Like this whole thing is this. I'm telling you, no, we do this on purpose. We want to support and we want to give back to FSU. So don't let Richie lie to you. We love FSU. We want to help out. So I cut you off, Michael.
TJ and Richie, I mean, I've said it a lot. 60% of our fans at Doak travel over 3 hours to get here on a game day. We represent $100 million of economic boom every year to the Leon County market. So it's up to us to keep that experience and how important we are to our community to make sure that we're providing a first-class experience so that we keep Richie coming to a game and not sitting on his couch at home and taking pictures and enjoying the atmosphere and the pregame and the marching chiefs and everything we have to do. We need to keep people, because it is a commitment. You talk about economic commitment with hotels and drive and restaurants and game tickets, and it is a time and a monetary commitment. So it's up to us to make sure that when you walk through those gates, and really when you pull inside Leon County's and Tallahassee city limits, that we start right there providing that experience to you as a community. And that's something we're really working with our community partners and working to address here on our own campus.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to. I'm coming up this weekend, so I'll see you on Saturday.
Good. Give me a text. Shoot me a text.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to get up there for it. I need to know. I don't think this is I know this is not your department, but we need to work on getting the press box meals flipped over from Chick-fil-A to Guthrie's. I don't know who. I do know who we need to talk to about that. But I know that's not your department, but I just want to throw that out there. But I definitely will. Richie, a little bit fortunate that Florida State plays a little closer to his house, but he's going up. He's got the Sunday shift. I've got the Saturday shift to see us beat Miami, and he's got the Sunday shift to see us beat Florida in basketball. So, Michael Alford, we appreciate it a ton. Always have a great time while you're on.
Absolutely.
Learning more about what's going on and how we can encourage others to support. Like you said, boosters.fsu.edu. And man, we're excited for what's to come. We're excited for what's here, and we really appreciate your time and hanging out today.
No, I appreciate you guys, and thank you we're so excited to kick off this year's annual fund. We had such success, and a lot of it's because of the platform that y'all provide us to get out and share our message, to tell the story of the student athletes, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here. We're here to raise funds, to provide opportunities for them to get that meaningful degree at a top 20 institution in America, which is Florida State University. And I can't thank you all enough for giving us that platform and helping us throughout the year of just being transparent and being able to share with our constituents what is going on here and to hear it from us and understand, and then choose or not to choose to partner with us to make a difference. And I really appreciate it.
And I'll just say it's as easy as a text to a friend who may not know, right?
Yes.
Maybe when I graduated Florida State, I signed up for boosters. I text my dad, who's a huge Florida State fan. He grew up in upstate New York, a Syracuse Orangeman fan through and through. Moved to Florida, and because of my Bowden, he became a Florida State fan. And when I texted him when I graduated, I'm like, hey, it's only, I think at that time it was $60 a year. I'm like, go ahead and do it. He's like, done. Like, that's all it takes, guys. Literally text one friend. And obviously there's hard times right now in this country economically. And it is what it is. If you cannot afford, we're not asking you to. But again, if you go to a bar once a week, you can afford to, give $70 a year to Florida State Seminole boosters. And it does a lot more because your donation adds to another one. And if everybody spreads the word, the movie Pay It Forward, we think about, there's a lot of opportunity, and we're already doing great things as an athletic department, and it's only going to get better with more support.
And I mean, I know TJ quit going to Guthrie's. I know that's blasphemy, but he cut out one Guthrie's meal a week for a year to join. And I can't tell you how
that's a great point.
Yeah. No, but it truly is. Like, you spend $12.
That's one IPA at a bar on happy hour.
Yeah,
literally one IPA at a bar during happy hour could make you an annual booster for Florida State.
Put the pressure on,
guys. Just drink at home.
But it does. I will point out it does make a difference. And
Sure.
I said earlier, if you're a competitive all, if you're a Knoll, and to look and see that we're sixth in the conference with the largest alumni base, less than 2% are annual athletic donors, that should resonate with you and to understand 40% of people who are donors do not buy season tickets. They live in Iowa, Chicago, Miami, and wherever. And, come for a game a year, 2 games a year, don't buy season tickets, but they know they're making a difference in what we're able to provide those winning edge resources and educational resources to those students. And that's what's important, being a self-sustaining department. With the money that we raise goes directly to assist them.
Awesome. Well, Michael Alford, we appreciate it a ton. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you this weekend. Everybody else, we will see you guys on Sunday for our regularly scheduled. Oh no, we'll see you on Thursday to preview the Miami game. I'm skipping shows over here. We do. It's like every other day that we do a show on.
We got the Miami podcast set up for
Thursday.
On
Thursday. Right. We'll be back on Thursday to preview the Miami game. Until then, man, Michael, we appreciate it. Richie, thanks for hanging out. Until next time,
Thank you, guys. Go Noles. Appreciate you.